Good evening. This meeting of the Planning Commission for the City of East Ridge for May the 4th, 2026 will now come to order. And roll call, please, Ms. Dietrich.
Chairperson Tuggle.
Here.
Vice Chairperson Howe.
Here.
Commission Member Cornelius.
Here.
Commission Member Williams. Commission Member Witt.
Thank you. And trust everybody's had an opportunity to review the minutes from the April 6, 2026 meeting. Has come to my attention there is one typo. The two roll calls for the votes include Commissioner Member Williams, who was not present. So if you make a motion, please include that in your motion. But I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the April 6, 2026 meeting with the removal of Commission Member Williams on both votes.
Yes. Thank you.
Second.
Great.
Great. A motion and a second. And roll call, please.
Vice Chairperson Howe.
Yes.
Commission Member Cornelius.
Yes.
Commission Member Witt. Chairperson Tuggle.
Yes. All right, there is no old business. I will move directly into the new business, and I will have communication comments by the public after the introduction from Mr. Howell from the city to get the scope of it. The new business is 6A. Consider the request of Thomas Barnes to have the property located at 403 Donaldson Road, tax map ID number 156EL007.01, rezoned from R1 residential district to R2 residential duplex district. Mr. Howell.
Yes, good evening, members of the Planning Commission. So the compatibility challenge on this, none were identified. We'll go into what I've told Planning Commission before. This is really just cleaning up a zoning district. Before the adoption of the Municipal Zoning Code 481 in 1989, all of East Ridge was zoned urban residential, which permitted an enormous amount of uses within those districts. Once Ordinance 481 was adopted, it did regulate the residential districts to your R2s, your R3s, and your R1. The current rezoning request aims to just resolve a technical zoning discrepancy without introducing any new impacts. It would ultimately create a structure that conforms with the zoning regulations to its district. Just to go into some zoning of nearby properties, in 1993, Navajo Drive was rezoned from R1 to R3, which was subject to no additional units to be built placed upon the subject tract, in excess of 18 units. And a second rezone in 2025 on Donaldson, south of the site, which was rezoned from R1 to R2. The second property also was legal non-conforming, similar to the 403 Donaldson property. The area is a mixed use with single-family homes to the north, multi-residential developments to the east, 2-unit residential properties to the south, which are also legal non-conforming use, and an institutional property, which is a church, to the west. The adjacent parcels include R1 zoning across Donaldson, R3, R2, and R1 to the south. Although the immediate area is zoned R1, the broader neighborhood encompasses a full spectrum of residential density, indicating that there is a uniformly low density in the area. No nuisance concerns, as I said, were or have been identified. The development form is consistent with the neighborhood, and no negative impacts are anticipated. The request to rezone is intended solely to legalize an existing legal non-conforming use.
Thank you. So they're not intending to build a new structure, it's just the existing one?
That is correct. And currently under our zoning regulations, if you do have a legal non-conforming structure, and let's say it did encounter some sort of fire or damage to it, if it was less than 50% of the building value, they got 1 year to rebuild. If damage exceeded 50%, you've got to go back to R1 single duplex that is currently there that is legal non-conforming.
I see. I know some banks have an issue with it as well.
They do, and that is normally when underwriters catches that.
That's normally when we hear about it.
Yes.
Okay, any other questions from the commission? Any feedback from the public? Anybody like to speak in favor or against it? Sure. Are you the applicant? You're good. Any concerns from the public? I don't think we're, yes. Okay, sure. If you can give us 1 second to vote on that. If it's not about this one, we'll have you come up. Sure. All right. If there are no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve and a second. And roll call, please.
Vice Chairperson Howe?
Yes.
Commission Member Cornelius?
Yes.
Commission Member Witt? Chairperson Tuttle?
Yes. All right. Thank you. And Michelle, if you can hang around, if you'd like to come up, and if you can give your name and address the podium for the recording. And if you can keep comments to 2 minutes, and feel free to address whichever other property you're referring to. Either one's fine. Sure.
My name is John Clasing. It's K-L-A-S-I-N-G. And I have a property at 530 Frawley Road.
Mm-hmm.
Talked with down last week and saw that 529 Frawley has completely been taken over by bulldozers and such. And I understand that it's going to be considered for redistricting from R1 to, or from condominiums to Z to zero lot lines, one or the other. It's going to change. I don't know if that's already been presented to you guys. You guys discussed that one yet, or if it's been approved. My concern has to do with some flooding issues and the light pollution from potential exit of all those buildings onto the front of my house. So,
Sure.
so I don't know. Is that
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it either. Okay. And Mr. Howell, if you can approach the lectern.
Last week, I spoke with the engineer for this particular property, and it appears that the builder is no longer wanting to entertain the townhomes in that particular area, which is zone RT1. So it was at that time that the engineer said, hey, the new developer is looking at possibly rezoning this property to RZ1, which would be zero lot line,
Okay.
which would mimic what Hummingbird Village is now.
Right.
With the downzoning, that would reduce the density in that area as well, from your 109 I think townhomes down to like 70 structures at this point. But yeah, that rezoning has not came through yet. I don't know if it has submitted. He has submitted RPA yet or not. But once it does, it of course will come through this body.
Yeah, that was my next question, whether we had a application in for that rezoning.
I can check and see tomorrow with the engineer if he has submitted it or call. As of now, yeah, I don't know where it sits at in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, we normally meet the first Mondays at 5:30. So just keep an eye out on it. It'll be on the website. It'll show the agenda. And you can see that. You'll also get letters since you live within 300 feet. When they request, obviously you'll lose my voice, but bear with me. You'll get a letter since you live within 300 feet, and it will tell you the time of the meeting, and you can come then. It is pretty common that if there are like light pollution concerns, then that can be addressed in restrictions on the property. That is something we have the ability to do uniquely in Hamilton County. We're actually the only county in Tennessee that can put restrictions on a rezoning, but we actually can. So we'll certainly listen to what your concerns are and balance that with, of course, his rights as a property owner. And that's what we're here for. So
I appreciate that. Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't mind the rezoning to the Z.
Sure.
That's
Yeah.
less property. It's just
Yeah.
where the exit happens to be right now. The construction entrance is literally right my front
Sure.
door.
Yeah, construction entrances tend to be wherever they thought looked flat to pull a flatbed in, but the real entrances are much more related by what you can turn a fire truck around and a garbage truck. So the city gets very involved in where entrances go. So it's probably not where they're using it currently. So,
Keep an eye on it.
yep.
You should get a letter, but you can also look out for a big yellow sign that will go out in front of that property for you
Yeah.
to see when it's going to
They're
come
probably
in front of the commission.
About like this.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
All right. Any other feedback from the public? Okay. Not seeing anything further, this meeting is adjourned.